How are you doing? All right, we're live streaming. You can go to
Your name again?
Mitzi.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm assuming Megan's gonna be here, but, she's coming down off the hill. Traffic is a little bit nutty today, you know?
I had not came down.
Ooh, yay. Well, hopefully she can be like, zippity zip.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, nothing because I was the only one. Oh, it's good to know. And usually.
All right, whenever you're ready. Are we good? Okay, great. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I was like, I don't know. Okay, go ahead. That is amazing. Hello, all. We're going to call to order the Arts and Culture Commission Advisory Board meeting for January 7th, 2026. We're so excited you all are here. I think our first, well, do we have, and we don't have anybody online.
No, we do not. I
Fabulous.
did not hear Flo was coming, and I'm sure Megan will be here.
On our way. Wonderful. I know we're gonna do approval of minutes. Do you think it would be appropriate to do a quick introduction of everybody? Okay, fabulous. My name is Shatrine Craig. I'm part of, I know, I was trying to think, maybe a year and a half in, for doing the Arts and Culture Commission. So nice to have you, everybody here. I know, I was trying to think, maybe two. See, time is a blur.
Said you should be.
Okay, so two, let's say two. Say two, so, yeah.
I'm Christine Whitaker, and I think I might even be kicked off. I think.
You
Yeah, we're out of here.
No, well, we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very nice.
Everybody has different appointments.
Cool. Got it. So yes.
Christine.
You can just say hello. when you're talking. Yeah.
I'm Mitzi Kugler, local artist, and I'm also on the board of Open Studio of Lake Oswego in West Lynn and Local 14.
Okay, I'll ask you more about that later. Sorry.
I'm Charity Hodnott, member of the board, I guess, and former here. And I'm Julie Matheson, and on going into year 4, I guess, with Christine.
And I'm Sheridan Corey. This is my first day on the commission. But I'm Wesley resident for 20 years, so I'm really glad to be with it.
Suzanne Wells, and I think this is my second year as well, and on commission.
And Joey Carson, I'm on the commission, and as a community member representing historical land of Main Street and what Paul and it's very Coalition. So we partner with the advocates. So we partner on a lot of things. With all comments on these things.
Great.
Laura Beanie, I've been here for too long probably, but be here for another 3 years, so you can't get rid of me, but I think this is my 9th year. Since it restarted. I'm Kristen Knock. I work at the library. So I'm a staff liaison for the group. And I have been in Westland for 26 years. I've been at the library for 4. I worked in the school district. And I enjoy helping out.
We appreciate you. We were just doing a quick round of introductions. I don't know if you want to say hello too.
Laura?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ariella Sophie Sternberg. I am here representing the Clackamas County Arts Alliance.
Love it. And Lou, I'm going to put you on the spot if that's okay. You want to introduce yourself? Yeah.
Oh, Leah Brother, I'm a city councilman in Westland. I think it's on this.
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, it's not really moving.
It's.
Is it all right? And I'm gonna put you on the spot. You want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hey, I'm Megan McDonald. I am the Parks and Recreation Director. And who lives on one of your.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, it's okay. Love it. This is great. We have a few sheets. I know we might have to share on some of them, but I think right now we've got a moment for public comments. We'll open that up. I don't believe there is anybody, but we can check and see, or if you have any public comments you want to share.
Did we confirm the minutes?
Oh, I skipped, sorry. I thought I flipped them. So I apologize. We can go back to our minutes here. Did everybody get a chance to look over it?
Yep.
Does anybody do I have a first to approve those?
Approve the minutes from last meeting.
Charity, all right, and Christine, all right. So we got a first and a second. So Charity and then Christine. Thank you. Perfect, thank you all for doing that.
Question.
Yes.
The agenda approved.
The agenda, let's see.
Is that gonna approved before the meeting? Because I just know it says our next regularly scheduled meeting is December 2026. Oh.
So no, it did not. We have normally, not, I think we send that out between each other. We did not catch that one.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We will,
Approve everything else.
yes. We didn't scroll down far enough. Thank you for catching that.
I'm guessing February.
Perfect. All right,
You earned your keep.
yes.
It was a trick, right?
Yes. We love attention to detail. Like, it's perfect. All right, so we've done the minutes, we've caught the date for February 4th that will be updated. And then now it's time for some public comments. So I don't know if we have, yes, hello.
Hi, I hope the owl will catch me. I'm assuming and trusting it will. Not a comment specifically about anything going on here in Westland, but I just wanted to announce to our community, and if you know of anyone who springs to mind, we have an upcoming job opportunity with the Faculty Arts Alliance, and that I think is gonna go out either this week or beginning next week. Our longtime artist exhibit program gallery manager has just retired. And so we are looking for a new person who will be managing our now 20 galleries around the county, which includes libraries. It's oftentimes one wall in a public space. So sometimes it's a library or a health clinic or county offices. So contacting and supporting a lot of local artists, and it's all Clackamas County artists who either work or reside in the county. So if you know of anyone who springs to mind, please help spread the word.
Okay, wonderful. Can we find it on your website?
Yeah, it hasn't been posted yet.
Okay.
I can forward it to your staff liaisons.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
And please share, get the word out. We want
Okay.
the best and brightest for our lovely team.
I love that. Amazing. Thank you, thank you. I always love fun news like that. Is there anybody else that wants to share some public comment? All right, and I don't see anybody else. So I say, let's move on. I want to welcome, and we've got the new people. We went through the introductions. I would love to welcome our new folks and our returning members. We've got Sheridan, Corey, and then Lauren Heedy. Thank you for signing. Back in there, that's so great. I was hoping we could do a little recap of the holiday bazaar. Miss Christine, would that be okay? You share that, how it went?
It was very gloomy.
And glittery?
No, we don't do,
Okay,
we wouldn't hail it.
That's true.
No, it was very sticky, but it was really fun. And, either in the adult community center, people are lying, but otherwise they said that they really like us there. They like us being there 2 days, and there were about 70 kids.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids there. And I'd say maybe 6 or 7 teenagers that were making things.
Yeah.
And a handful of adults that were ostensibly helping their children, but got more into it than they did. So no, it was super fun. And the main things that were the real attractions, I had gotten a donation of snow globes. And so they were all taking little ceramic animals and making trees and making all these things. Those we ran out of after the first day. So if we have to purchase those next year, those were super popular. And I have lots and lots of pictures, but I couldn't figure out how to upload them.
Yes,
So,
we can work on that. We'll give them to
not one of
the,
my skills.
that's all right.
So, but yeah, we have dozens of pictures. It was just really, really fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And I think that this was our third year, is that right? And I feel like you were there for a while too. I feel like we have a lot of returns that have been coming for 3 years. They say, oh, yeah, you know, we know you guys are here. So
Mm,
I guess I love the fact that the Arts and Culture Commission is kind of building recognition and, you know,
Yeah.
kind of here in the community and which is what we're trying to do, which is great.
It was really fun.
Yeah, Jody.
While you were missed at the Lemon Holiday Market, we actually had people asking where you were.
Oh, really?
That's very sweet. And people were like, gee, where are they this year? We're like, oh, come this year. And yeah, we'll come again next year. But you were missed.
Well, thank you. That's it. You know, and that was fun. It's just that it's double the work to set it up twice and take it down twice and try to figure out.
I do understand that. I just would say, I wanted you to know that people missed you.
Thank you.
And the attendance for the holiday bazaar was really well attended on both days. So I worked both days and there was a lot of people coming in and out. And I think also some people would let their children just stay with
Mhm.
us while they had to go to little shopping for a little bit. And they felt safe doing that we could just be like sequestered. Like,
Yes.
like being in that little room. You know, just for 10 minutes, whatever it was, but it was really well received. And, yeah, unfortunately for the parade, I think we don't get good attendance on that. Both years, it was really, like, attendance was wonky on both years for the parade. The time, it is a lot of work to set it up. So maybe we can think of something else maybe for next year we could do that's maybe not so high maintenance. That,
Christine, I apologize. I just got your message about a half an hour ago. And she got some good pictures and wanted to share. And I think the best way, if that comes up again, I think the best way would be to put it on a thumb drive.
Mhm.
And then we could put it on the Mondo Pad so that we can see it and we can also screen share.
And do you think, what if we started to make, I was thinking we could make folders for our Google Drive and we can upload them there and then pull them up? Okay. I'll grab all those,
Okay.
just so then we can all share. If we've got them, we can make folders. Fabulous. Oh, that is great. Any other comments about it? I know I have stuff about that. I was out of go. But I saw the pictures. Thank you for sharing. All right. Now it is time for some goal setting, 2020 goal setting, my friends. Would you, my little co-conspirator, would you like to do some of this? All right. We've got, yeah, I think we've got the review. We could do the review of the 2025 annual report.
Shatrine, can we go back for just a second?
Absolutely.
Sheridan, I wanted to make sure that, you knew that we do have a Google Drive that has all of our information on it. We're trying to cultivate as much as we can in one spot. So I will make sure that you get that link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to send you an email directly because I don't see anything from you.
Okay, okay. So I'm guessing the city just didn't add you yet, because it's a group email that I send out. But, we'll make sure and get you all the links that you need.
Yes, and I can double check.
Okay,
We can do a test. That'll be perfect.
Yeah.
so Shatrine, how do you want to do this? I'm just looking at.
I know.
This is the memo from
That's just, is that Rory's? The mayor, yeah.
and the city council
Okay,
on
the work plan.
the work plan going into 2026. So this is what their expectations
Mhm.
are of us.
Mhm.
do we want to go over the annual report first?
And then,
Says Jerry.
yes, let's see here. Oh, yeah, okay, so this is what we turned in last year.
This is what we just wrote.
This is what we just did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm looking at both of these.
Oh, no, it's okay.
So, okay, and so we created this to kind of follow what the format is that city council gives to us on what they would like us to fill out. What did we accomplish in 2025? What do we want to focus on in 2026, right?
Yes, and I think I think we put some of that in here.
And so I think for this 2025 annual report, this is a draft that Shatri created and I reviewed, and we just wanted all of you to kind of take a look at it and make sure this has not been submitted to city council yet. So we just wanted everybody here to review this, go through this and make sure we captured everything from last year and have kind of the right focus going into 2026.
Yes, we didn't want to miss any representation or anything there.
So maybe look at the accomplishments first. Just kind of go through, everybody read through it and make sure we captured everything.
Stuff that's big. Yeah, I think so. The big thing was the bike kiosk, which was a feat. That
Yes.
was our big first art installation, so. I think everything else we did, and then. Yeah, and then Nick, you're going, I mean, that's good writing for the challenges that we faced. And I think one of the challenges that is missing, if I can move forward, is the, looking at the murals that we were trying to find, a spot that was appropriate and approved by the city. And so I think that should be added to challenges,
Okay.
because that would have been moved forward.
Yeah.
And still it can be, but we're still, we're kind of still struggling with that, trying to find where that be, since we've had some roadblocks with the spot that we originally chose.
Since there was work done there, should it also be in the accomplishment section?
It wasn't approved
No.
yet. We were working toward getting it on the agenda and it didn't come to fruition
Oh,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to.
And the budget wouldn't come until 2026 anyway, really, but we're working on it. We thought we had a spot, but it ended up that it did not be.
Well, we also realized that there's not a neuro policy, so.
Yes.
I think that's smart.
Things like, so the challenges like,
Yeah.
No, I just want to make sure I can remember
Yes.
everything.
Well, it sounds like there was a lot of work done though in identifying those things. I think that's worthy of being put into the accomplishment section.
It was me coming and saying I have. But not a good
right?
Yes.
But the Willamette Art Corridor Committee says it was established. Have they met or are there any plans for them to meet?
Yes, yes, we met. Go ahead.
What did you say, are there any mark board?
It's the Willamette Art
Willamette.
Corridor.
Yeah, our course.
We just established that committee and then we created that, letter of intent that we then had to present
Presented.
to city council, which was just nothing official to approve yet, but just kind of, notifying you and informing city council that this is something that we're starting and we're starting to look into. Nothing has really, officially been done. I do have a report later in the meeting about kind of where we're at on that. We're going to resume that in January, but the committee has been established. And it's representatives from Westland, Oregon City, Lake Oswego, Clackamas County Arts Alliance, and many this committee with us. So we've established that, had a few meetings, and hoping to get more accomplished in 2026. Yeah. Yes, good addition on the challenges, the murals.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll figure out maybe engagement and
Yeah.
like,
Or another idea that we could use that is approved for the city that we can move more swiftly with, that
yeah,
could be
something
something,
more.
whatever that could be. It's a mosaic, I don't know.
Yeah.
But something like that, or another installation that we could do another call for homes, or what we did, maybe finding a location that needs something like that, or we could do a call for arms. That could be appropriate. Because we don't want to lose our funding, would be nice.
Funding doesn't go away, does it?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're not using it, right, wouldn't that be Megan?
It's
the
dedicated,
rollover?
it's dedicated, it's in the, yeah, it's in the code, so it's required to be there.
Okay, so it doesn't get lost if we don't use it in 2026.
It can't,
Not
no,
worried
it
about
can't go anywhere, and I've got ideas, so. plotting ideas to help.
Okay, I was worried about that.
Yeah, no, it's actually established in the code, in our actual municipal code that we're required to have that fund available, so.
That's great. Excuse me. And we'll move forward with the Willamette Art Corridor. I do think some projects can come from that with Megan's help too, so that'll be wonderful. We've got any additional feedback that you all can think about? I think we kind of covered everything, but don't want to miss anything.
So we'll add the murals
Yep.
to the challenge and the challenges section, and then just the, priorities. We just kind of did a summary here in that paragraph, which basically took from city council's
Yes.
report here. So
Yes.
see if we forgot anything in that section
When are you planning on submitting?
after it's approved today.
Okay.
I think we decided, Megan, wasn't it?
It technically was due at the end of December, but most of the boards and commissions didn't meet in December, so Dylan just checked in and we said we'd have it after this meeting or next.
Okay,
We just had to make any adjustments.
All right, we just need to approve it.
Mhm. Would you all feel good in approving? And can we have a first and second if that's appropriate? Yes.
I might just, I hadn't seen more than a full reading of the priorities that we got from council before.
Yes, yes.
It might just be helpful because I know that it is something that we will do to kind of mirror some of the language about, just improving diversity, equity, and inclusive belonging, and the
Yeah.
number 9, sort of just
Yes. Okay.
reiterating
Love that.
that's part of our.
Yes.
Otherwise, I think it's great.
I love, thank you for the work.
Yeah. That's good. That's good, yeah.
Is the, project with PG&E and the artifacts, is that just so far out there that it's not even out there?
No, the artifacts are there, it just depends on what the project is gonna be. So that'll be part of, they're there available for us to use, we just have to figure out what those next steps are. And I think potentially with the Willamette, Art Corridor project, there's might be a really good opportunity at City Hall, Historic City Hall or somewhere. But yeah, they're there, right? Just looking at this picture.
They're there, but they are getting nervous. They really would like to
Mhm.
have them have a home.
Yeah. Yeah, and before, that we would have the chance to take them and move them if we needed to, so it's like they want to preserve give us the time to preserve what's there. But yes, I'd like to move forward at some point in time. But yeah, I don't feel like you don't feel like we're in a rush. I mean, we're like soon, but we don't like gotta go Kermit the Frog, playing in your hands.
Well, technically, they're being preserved as part of a project that is supposed to be completed in 2026,
Yeah.
which has been 106 process.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that if there's at least some intention
Exactly.
put forward, that could be incorporated into that plan when it's submitted to.
I think we have a really good opportunity.
We have a great opportunity, so.
I can elaborate. It's just a matter of Historic City Hall. Everybody knows we can't do anything in the front with ODOT. But, and I've got a slide deck for the Willamette Falls, trying to get finished up with pictures of locations. But one of them, if you just drive over there and go into the parking lot, before you go into the main doors there that are usually now the back doors, so they want you to go around the other side. There's a full section of the brick wall that has a planter section where there used to be actually a laurel hedge there. The planter area is like this big. So we really can't plant anything there, and so it's really, could be a really cool whatever of a vertical piece that doesn't necessarily have to be attached to the wall, but it has, and you would have just that view of coming in, that's what you can see on the background. The coalition is fine with that, we've talked about it in the past, we haven't discussed it in the recent future, but it's just a way of getting that iconic history there and, art piece, so we can ever do anything, if we ever can, in the front. So it's just another, seems like a real win-win and something that we can move forward on, because we've been being. So anyway, so that's what we were wondering with those pieces, how great would that be to use some of them there?
It would be wonderful.
Wouldn't it be great?
May I ask, is there an opportunity to also incorporate, it doesn't have to be a full mural, but some kind of, painting signage on a bit of that building too?
It's designated historical, so we would not be able to paint on it.
So National Historic Registered Building.
Okay. So you can't do art and have it come off like as a,
I don't think that you could. I don't know that it
I'm
would probably, I think we would get some pushback on that there, just
Sure.
because, but we can always ask the questions, but it could not be adhered to the building,
okay,
right? Because it
Yeah.
needs to stay in as, yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Good, okay, good to know. Always good thing.
yeah, they're still, yeah.
Yeah, there's options.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thank you. Well, with the incorporation of the number 9 from the moratorium, and then I've made the extra notes that everyone mentioned. Do we feel good with the updating of the advisory group annual reports? I think we have to first, do we have to first and second it, I believe?
With the incorporation of those edits, I move to approve the report to be submitted to city council.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay, Christine seconding. Thank you.
That's job.
And then I think if we go back to our agenda, we've got mapping out our goals. And I thought we had sent, Julie, I thought we did a little list of these. Is it talking about, would that just be our art installation priorities? When we talk about our goals for this next 2026?
Well, I think that kind of shows.
It was in the synopsis, okay, perfect.
It's taken what city council outlined and we kind of summarized it in this report.
Okay,
which
it does our
was-
2027,
Yeah.
okay, perfect.
Yep.
So just for the record, I will read that we had in 2025, the Arts and Culture Commission continued work aligned with council's 2025 and 27 through 27 priorities, including public art planning, community engagement, and ongoing development of the Willamette Art Corridor. Planning 2026 projects include continued work on the Willamette Corridor, exploration of mural project at Fields Bridge and other places now, and maintenance planning for existing art assets. So with that, then too, I would say, do we think about considering the old historic,
I wonder if you don't, just an idea, I wonder if you don't list specific.
Yeah.
You list if you're gonna focus on the Willamette Corridor project, then maybe that's the project that you focus on and then those pieces come into, so you don't call out specifically, would be an idea. But you could always put in there potentially, right?
what do you think about saying continued work on Willamette Corridor, exploration of mural projects and maintenance planning for existing art?
So for Mira, we'll be working on developing a policy.
Yes.
So that would be the first thing that we
Correct.
could be working on together,
Project.
right?
Yeah.
Before you go to start to build the project. So we need to get that together.
Yes, okay, so,
Were you recommending that something else be in the forefront
Of the project.
of a project?
I think-
Other than a mural?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
probably, because for this annual year, yeah,
okay,
I would say, then that's when we can start working towards and using our partnerships, who I'm already developing one right here.
yes.
Trying to figure out how we would move forward on a policy. It's very complicated. I did not realize how complicated,
Okay.
so we have to be good and we'll.
Oh, yes.
With that. So we can work on that initiative itself, but then you could list, I think the Historic City Hall project is great validity. I want to make sure before we make it too publicly announced.
Yes.
Talk with our partners.
Yes,
So that's why I thought maybe since it's a part of the Willamette Fall corridor and we look at those locations, then we can then move forward, if that seems logical.
I think so. I say broad, leave it.
Better to be broad.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and I like the thought, I know, I feel like we'll be doing broad Willamette Falls corridor, and then I feel like alongside, we're gonna be working on mural policy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So within,
Exactly.
however long it goes, so I think that could be okay to say.
It could be almost, I feel like they're almost two separate items.
Yes,
right?
oh, yes, yes, yes.
But potentially.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, it definitely overlap, yeah, 100%.
And then we had talked about the maintenance planning for existing art, because we were talking, what was the grit, the mill,
Yeah.
the stone, so I think we need to have that in there because it's
We need
important.
to work on,
Yeah.
yeah, that's something I need to work on to bring to you with ideas.
Yeah. Does that sound good to everybody? Leaving it broad and then, okay, perfect.
Because the historical city hall, could we possibly accomplish that by the end of 2026, do you think? If we did a call for art, can we came up with an idea?
Haven't gone through your 3 or 4, I guess I did, I went through your full first process. I think possibly, I think at least you could have a student procured, maybe not made, I mean, I would assume just depends on who and how long the process is, but I would think,
I
yeah.
think then that should be like maybe our main focus then to 2026, to see what we can come up with once we establish it. It's, I think that'd be a good thing to do for another art installation.
Me too, I think we've got the momentum and I think we need to keep.
Yeah.
keep it
Keep it going,
Yeah.
yeah. Just like you bike kiosk, just keep.
Yeah, yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, we've talked about that location with, at the art corridor,
Mm-hmm.
meetings with the larger group, and that is kind of a perfect location. I mean, I know next on the agenda is the Willamette Art Corridor project. Do you want me to just kind of give an
Yep,
update?
go for it, please. That'd be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I think I reported this, I think I reported this last meeting, but, we did meet in December and we're meeting again probably the week after next. We're gonna regroup again. And what we determined is that, to kind of start small. And, to recap, the Willamette Art Corridor project is, tying our 3 communities, Oregon City, Westland, and Oswego together on Highway 43 corridor, with art. And so what we decided is that we would start small and we would start with 1 installation in Oregon City and 1 in Lake Oswego, kind of on the Westland, near the Westland boundaries, and then 2 in Westland since we're in the middle and kind of near the border. So we kind of start with 4 anchors. And so where we're at with that is Megan has been looking at a map of Westland to identify some potential locations. There's a lot to consider, public land, private land. And we're not stuck to just being on Highway 43. It could be kind of off a little bit or, back behind City Hall. And then Lake Oswego and Oregon City, what we decided with those 2 communities is that since they already have a pretty robust public art program, they both have a couple of art pieces that are already installed near the Westland borders. And so they would probably identify 1 of those to start. And then we would kind of roll out this, our launch would be with these 4 locations. And then we would probably start from scratch on our 2. So that would be, and I think it would be possible to do it in 2026. So that's kind of what we're hoping to do.
Just to clarify my question, with those 2 existing pieces in or locations in Lake Oswego and Oregon City, would they look to replace what's there with something with historical significance, or they already have the?
They would only have, and they're looking, we'll find out in 2 weeks when we meet again, but they're looking at, they both have several options that they're looking at. So it would take an existing piece of art that kind of ties into the theme and just designate that. And the way we're going to kind of designate these pieces as we grow and add more pieces is that we would have some sort of a plaque. We're going to come up with some sort of branding, a logo, a name, and then have some sort of a permanent plaque next to each permanent art installation that would identify it as a piece of art that's part of the Willamette corridor. Ideally, we have all these big, wonderful ideas that, hopefully will eventually.
Starting
come to
small.
fruition. We're starting small. But to have a website and have, history for each, art piece and have a timeline and, information about the artists and, QR codes that you can scan at each, plaque along the way and get information, take you to the website, that sort of thing. So it's a big project, but we're starting small and I think we're all excited in the group to kind of really get started in 2026. And we will keep city council updated along the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting ready for the group is I've got the slide deck started, not like for here, but like just the locations that we start with parks because we own them and they're easy to use, right? And we don't have a lot of park in our parks. So right now I have Historic City Hall. These are when I say these are gonna be very obvious to you, but McLean House, Hammerly, there's actually a right-of-way area that the city manages along, Willamette and West A, the road that goes up by the high school. But I have to find out, the neighbors actually take care of it, the Bolton Neighborhood Association takes care of it, so I'm like, that could be an opportunity.
And then Robinwood Art Park and then Mid Hill, of course. The part that we were talking about is, it's really hard to do things on ODOT property, even if we were doing them in front of, area shown, because that whole frontage is still ODOT property.
Yeah.
So this is a way where people can get off and enjoy also the park and then have a moment away from the, main road to see it. But then trying to, over time, figure out which, just kind of like they do in LO, private businesses have art features too. But if we show how the connectivity is there, then we can offer that up in the future, as we don't have the bandwidth to do that now.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I had started with, and what I was gonna do is take some pictures and just so people then can go see and visualize what could go there. What is their history that's tied to that specific area that we could tap into? And things can be really simple or complicated towards kid. I mean, there's just a lot of opportunities with it being in a park. So,
awesome.
yeah, I love it. And add one more layer on that. I'm just thinking of Ariella simply because you invited, we're really trying to address number 9 in our priorities, really consider inclusivity along the way during this whole project, throughout this whole project. So we're reaching out to, different cultural groups and historical groups and things like that. So we really want to make sure that we take a lot of perspectives into consideration. And, ideally represent a lot of the different groups that are a part of developing this area and, coming to this area that provided a lot of the history around it. So we'll continue to do that. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but Ben.
There's so many beautiful partnerships.
Yeah.
I'm thinking our last meeting, we met with what is his role? The art director or something for the Confederated Tribes of Grand Rapids.
Yeah, that's right.
Mac.
Yeah.
So great possibilities for collaboration. Also, as people have mentioned, the numerous historical societies that we have in this community.
So we can be the art, kind of experts, and then we can tap into our historical knowledge and expertise that we have in visual genes.
It's so exciting.
Exciting.
I know, right? So I think it did, I know we talked about murals, so the Willamette Corridor project, does that sound good to anybody? Anybody have any questions? Any other questions about it? Want to make sure we explained it well. And then we did talk about murals. Now, we talked about policy, so Megan, for you, that's our next step for that. It's not like,
Yeah.
hey, let's find it out, and I know we have a timeline, like at Fields Bridge, we gotta wait for it to
Yes,
be
it
viable.
still hasn't even been passed over, right? So it still is in with school limbo. So
Okay.
so we haven't even,
Yeah.
we haven't even a warranty period even start yet.
Wow.
So just,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's not in file.
Dream though.
Okay, yes, of course. Planning, looking to the future, I love that. But I think in here, I think that'll be great. I know it says art installations, but yeah, working really on policy and getting that
Yeah, it's,
solidified.
I think it obviously will take a lot for me to kind of come up with some things and partner to figure out if anybody does want to support research on that and has
Okay.
time, I will take any support in that we can. I mean, even just finding other agents, we try to borrow others,
Mhm.
but then we start talking to these agencies to find out how they can, where their
Yeah.
pitfalls or roadblocks are. And since we don't have nearly as much industry, it does make it a little bit easier in some ways, but you start thinking if you allow murals, where and how, and
Mhm.
it's definitely way more dynamic than I realized. So I think it would be, yes, I would take any support on the research.
Well, and I was thinking Estacada would be an amazing one to
Yeah.
tap into, because they really have a huge mural standard, and then Silverton as well.
Yeah.
They really, so I'd be intrigued to see, right? I'd be really intrigued to see what they'd share, maybe their policy.
In Hillsborough.
And Hillsborough, well, anybody that has it, it's like, please, we'd love to see a partnership, because then we can look at it, because I know
Yes.
Westland's gonna be different from every place.
No, it is,
so-
especially because you consider those are all historical buildings, and you
Yeah.
have new buildings and you have business, it's
Yeah.
just, there's so many things to
Exactly.
consider. If you go to Springfield, they have a whole Simpsons thing going,
Oh, yeah, you're
right.
right.
It's impressive what they have, but they, they have, so it's just, yeah, you have
Yes.
to pull from those pieces and then figure out what fits here.
Yeah.
Because you realize if it's allowed for the city to do it, private is allowed to do it as well, so if you kind of figure that.
Oh, I guess, okay.
A lot of cities were super generous when we made our first policy of
Yeah.
how to be.
Yeah, no,
They're
Love
they're not gatekeeping.
No, we always
their
share.
policy.
I love that, that would be really cool, to kind of bring that together.
yeah, but you can do a lot of searching since it's online and we can make some calls too, so.
Okay, very cool. Wonderful, that's exciting.
One other one to toss out there as a possibility is the, adult community center in the back area, where we have our large room and then we have a patio there. There's a retaining wall and there's no irrigation there currently, and we just removed a lot of the plants that were overgrown and kind of not doing well there. We are planning on replanting with drip irrigation system, but it's a relatively small amount of planting, but it is a really cool space where there could be potentially art installed there. It'd be really, really neat,
nice.
especially with the view of that. We don't currently use the patio, it's not, you know, we would like to be able to use it more and be able to get more people out there, and it just doesn't have that kind of warm feel right now. So that was one I wanted to present. I'll bring it up more in a formal sense, but just to throw that in your mind, I'm looking at other spaces that we could be using some really great impactful art.
It's a great spot.
Megan, are they gonna do the redo the fountain too?
We are probably not. We're gonna rehab what it is, but the labor for it is quite intensive. And there's nobody dedicated to it. So we're looking at how we can optimize what it is and to be able to enhance what it is. So we'll see what we'll be able to do with those trees there. It's a huge project and it hasn't really worked for years. Ron Jones, who was our previous arborist, used to do work on it. But it's not quite functioning well right now.
No, it's, you can't even,
No.
you can't even see the little, water lilies.
Is that something that could be turned into an art project? And that's-
Potentially, I think we have one set up for right now. That's a whole nother thing I need to work through with the landscape that's shaded area. It could be, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, but I'd want to reach out to the community at the Old Street Center to kind of see
what
their hearts are at with it.
Absolutely.
I know the patio area is in definite need and it's full sun, so you're not under partial shade. And for art, it would be really easy.
Dynamic.
I'm thinking like maybe another call for art or someone to design the whole thing, to make it artistic, to make it a nice, if someone have like the triangle shapes, different things to make it a place that you want to go and enjoy, right?
That would be a little
So,
destination spot.
I mean, it could be, and I know there's so many creative people that can take that space and be like, oh, we don't need this, and we can make
Well,
interest
the
with.
thing with that is, that because it's an uneven brick surface, there's concern, because I've tried to have Qigong out there. And there's a lot of balance issues with some of you.
Yeah, and we've just chosen not to program it, like we're looking to program it, so we can get people out there to do, not for things like that, but just to have tea and ice cream, just to have, yeah.
That's what I was thinking, like
Mhm.
something to make it pretty.
Yeah.
No water is required, just
Yeah,
live, you know, like we did with the bike kiosk, it's a working piece of art in that area.
Yeah, an experience.
An experience.
and where I'm needing help is in the landscape, because that's where we don't have a lot of water to be able to do large plantings, so if we take a look at it, that's where my first ask would be before coming into the plaza, but that could be phase one, and just, I have to be careful about adding maintenance and that type of thing and replacing for usable features, but I'm all for that, yeah.
Well, and it's a rental, it's a rental space too.
Oh, yeah, I have to be really careful with how much I put out there. It is rental. Thank you for bringing that piece up. I appreciate it.
Yes, and, you know, we do have to be careful, and if we make it look nicer, I think it would just be that much more appealing and desirable for people that are looking for, you know, shower venues or even small wedding receptions.
There's 80th birthday there and it was lovely, decorated outside.
Yeah.
So it's a great space to have programming.
Oh, it's so lovely. So,
And
yeah,
the
all the
benefit
things that you're
is-
saying are completely, yes. I just have to make sure I do some
Yeah.
easy steps.
I think that's great.
Yeah, that,
For clarification on, like, so let's say we found suggestions of what could be great art. Do we need to, is there anybody at the adult center that would need to come and have a voice? How does that work?
we would work through that. So first off, I would write a formal proposal through your form.
Okay.
Bring it to you and present the location and then suggestion, and then we would bring, probably, and Councilor Groner is there frequent there, but the adult community center staff for certain.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure, because I was like,
Yeah.
I'm sure we need to have some check-in, make sure they can give their vote too, okay.
Yeah, well, that's where, and then it depends on how you do that, like, maybe that is something where you present options to the adult community center.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
Posted, and there can be.
Part of this.
Yes.
From success, this project. what would they think even this thought or thought, and
Yeah.
like most.
Yes, they're gonna be using it.
They're most different.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe
But ultimately, they are experts.
Yeah, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I figured an integration could be.
Yeah, yeah, but that's why if there was a couple options where you all vote, if you have a certain vote and there's like 3 options, that's where you can legislate and
Yeah.
have some feedback on what that is. Like, that's an idea.
I love it.
That's wonderful.
I love that.
I wrote that
I
in.
think there's more things like that, that we might be able to do pieces, even, you know, art pieces that can be played with kids, you know, things that
Yes.
can be, so. I had the dream of a very large salamander in Lake Oswego, I think of a different animal here. But no, the radio. I know, right, there's something, yeah, but anyway, that's just what I'm trying to, there's such an opportunity and if we can come up with some of the spaces, then it gives you the chance to dream of how to interact with them. Absolutely, and bring that engagement.
We do mention the grindstone art piece.
Yeah.
I know.
Just know
What do you
it's
think?
on my list, I promise it's gonna get repaired.
No, it's okay. We are coming in support. It's on here, so I'm just gonna leave it on
I feel like.
for us to,
But it's okay, we will get it repaired,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely. Just know we're in support.
No, thank you.
I was on there, I'm like,
We did receive a $500 donation, yes, the advocates to help support that, so we have that sitting there, I put in the fund separately, so we have, you know, it was wonderful to receive that, so.
okay,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
Getting that installed, we really wanted
It was
to see it.
really sweet, we're gonna get it fixed.
Yes, I love it. Are there any other new ideas or suggestions? I know it's like a question mark on there. I love the adult.
A lot though, think
Yeah.
about that, with all the
Yeah.
activities you do, there's so much going on, so definitely don't feel like you need to overdo it, there's so much here to do.
Yes. We can always roll it over into 2020.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like having lists that, again, we can work on.
Megan, that idea that we were talking about, under new ideas on our agenda,
Mhm.
share that.
The one I sent you today? Yes. So it's nice being in my role because people will send me information. I'm gonna email all of you before I leave here, but there was a company who reached out to me a few months ago and, I can show you my little tiny screen, or I can just pull it up on here. But it's a company that takes old wind turbines.
Yes.
And, okay, this is ridiculous to even try to pretend to show. But I'm just gonna scroll to the piece, and they make, really cool furniture items out of them. This is not gonna be helpful for any of you all. Oh, cool. Yes, like a bench. They take the turbine pieces, the cylinders, and they have these different bench pieces where there's a rocking bench, which always makes me nervous because I want that, but keeping them maintained. But there's solid benches, they do tables, but then there's the wraps that go over. Okay, let me get to a better one that you can see from this very tiny. I will email all of you, but I sent it over just to like, what do you think of this? So it'd be essentially, think of the bike kiosk, but this is built for this.
Yeah.
So it's metal art that we buy, and then you're able to add a wrap on it, that would be very functional.
And
very-
safe.
And
Takes
very
away the
safe,
edges.
right? No, it just, how neat is that?
And their benches?
Yeah, so there's a
a
couple
big-
different ones, the half cylinder benches, they actually make tables so that the cylinder, I don't know, it's right, like I'm looking for like if we ever did a large plaza, you know.
Yeah,
have
yes.
Stuff in there. But the cylinder, the half part of the dome of the foot of the bench and the table is that cylinder, so it's all recycled metal.
Oh, my goodness. I
It's
love
all
it.
recycled pieces.
That's really cool.
So I was gonna send it to you too, just for others to know of, and the prices weren't, one of the benches was like, when I say 8,000, that sounds scary, but that's really not that much. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, whoa, that is actually, I mean, yes, we wouldn't go buy like 10 of them and put them
Yeah.
around, but
Yeah.
it could be, oh no, my thing's scrolling along. But yeah, upcycled PVC lumber is what they use, the aluminum frames, stainless steel fastener, so it's like already manufactured and built, and it says it's 97% recycled materials.
And what are they calling them? What was the title of it? I know, the longest name.
Give me a
ever.
second.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I scrolled all over the.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's Wi-Fi. Noble Winds,
Okay.
and not wind, but wind, W-I-N-S.
Oh, nice.
So Noble Winds.
Does that go in hand with the Sustainability Advisory Board for sustainability initiative for the city?
Yeah.
Instead of buying new, it would be
Recycling.
recyclable, repurposed.
Yeah, especially, I mean, at this price point for, yeah, there's like, how do you, and you could almost, not that I wanna say the Portland cow, because the cows are old, but like how if you had a few of these around, it would
Yes.
have its own
Yes.
story piece too.
It would be very.
Wouldn't that be neat?
Yeah.
And I also thought then as you did that, private business, like you could just see them once
Oh,
they
yeah.
go over here, right?
Yes.
We're at the business.
Yeah.
And then the wraps, you know, the wraps are always easy, but that could be fully artistic designed by somebody.
Yes, which would be fabulous.
A really easy look for us, you
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes.
And a really huge impact.
Well, we had to meet certain ones for the city. I used to be on that board for the city and, there are certain parameters that we're trying to establish for the city to maintain our sustainability.
For procurement in general.
Yeah, and so this could be one of those to work with the parks and recs, to work with sustainability.
Yes.
Combine both and with arts and kind of to do a kind of a combination.
Yeah.
Thing. I don't know, I'm not with that board anymore. Because this took so much time. So I was. So, yeah, but, it could be something where I don't know if they have budget or not. I have no idea. They do. So that would be something maybe.
It was something we could definitely look into. I'll forward you over, and I can even have, Harper come in and talk to you if we get really interested in it, but, she reached out and I was like, ooh, that's interesting.
Yes.
So she followed up with me, so I'll forward out the PDF so you guys can take a look at it. I haven't looked too much farther than the brochure, I just got excited at that the other day, and I sent it, I was like, what do you think of this before I throw it out to everybody?
I love it.
I thought it was easy, I thought it would just be so nice too, right?
Yeah, yeah, that could be a quick win. You know,
Yes.
if we wanted to start with one and.
Absolutely.
Have a site and.
Mhm.
For people
Yeah.
doing like the walks around, you know, the watches in the past and you know, there's
Yeah.
sort of kind of.
Yes.
Like, hidden spots.
Yeah.
We had it, it became like a Westland thing.
Yeah.
It was, where was the Westland?
Yeah.
I haven't seen this. I never have.
You know, I've heard of things of them repurposing, but I haven't seen them done.
Well, that's prettier than track stacks benches, I can
Yes.
tell you that.
Yeah.
But yes, those are.
Less the benches, but I'm with you.
Yeah, those are hot.
Yes. Yeah.
In the summer.
I was surprised when I sat
Oh,
down.
yeah, they get really hot. This is, seems like it'd be a nice little.
Thank you, Scrolling.
It's okay. Oh, yeah, you're great.
No.
That's yeah. This is great.
Have their tell our story. So yeah, I'll forward this out so you guys will all have it. And I'll be talking with Harper. Of course, I don't know what the shipping cost is, I don't know, but I thought either way, with the budget we have, the impact of this would be really cool.
Yeah.
And so just, but again, it's an idea.
And is that something, sorry, I'm gonna ask, is it something that, you know, we've got Maddox Woods, we've got these really cool trail spots. You know, is that something that they can go there if we think we wanna connect trails, or does that get a little tricky?
It could be, I think it just depends on, so when you start putting things like art in forested areas with this kind of paint and whatnot, you start to have, it breaks down really quickly.
Okay.
So it can be also, it could be a, yeah, we just need to play, no, yeah, totally, we can do that. Does it fit a forested area or develop a park better?
Yeah.
That's the big
Yeah.
question you have to look at. And then also, are you creating attractive nuisance if it's in this hidden space, right? You
Correct.
want to get a lot of visual on it. So I did though think for whenever we get the Willamette Trail.
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah.
That would be like really, that fits really
Exactly.
well, right? The industry,
Yes.
trying industry, even though
Yes.
it's different.
That's kind of what I was thinking, I was like, I was
Yeah.
like closer to the water, some way to have it be
Yeah.
very intentional though, but yes.
But our rustic trails, I don't know if it fits there, but we get that
Yeah.
longer. Oh my
More
God.
established.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's gonna be more things like this that come out, right?
Yeah,
This is just.
of course.
probably-
So I have a question. So
Yeah.
the art piece would be, let's say Christine is an artist and we decided to use her art, we would send it to them and they would do the wrap.
That is, I have not done,
That's what you-
that is what I assume it would be, right?
Okay.
That's my assumption is, so before I went too far, I mean, I probably should have done more due
That's what
diligence,
they
but.
do, when they wrap the
Yes.
boxes, like the, you know, the electrical board boxes in the cities. They procure the art
The original,
and
right?
wrap it.
And they'll color
make
match it,
back.
like they are, if they're doing it,
They'll do
they're
it.
legit to what you said, yeah, I know.
Around
Well, I was just in Camby's library.
Yes.
And they have a tea room and at one whole wall is this artist wrap and it shows the art, you know, that he did and then it blown up
Yeah.
and beautiful on this
Yeah.
vinyl. And the colors match perfectly. It's just gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can say from the printing side, you have to match it perfectly because there are legal ramifications.
Yeah.
So I can say, we'll make sure we can
they're on board with that.
I have a question about the PG&E pieces. How many pieces are there that they're trying to?
There's quite a few. I mean, the fact of the matter is that we would not be able to use all of them because we still have this dream. And who knows if it's totally impractical to put like one of the actual large grinders in front of the historic city hall. That's an ODOT issue
Yeah.
that many of us pursuing, you know, how far we'll get with that. But there's a lot of smaller pieces and saws and green chain and, I don't know if anybody got over to move, but they took some of the green chain and actually used that in their parking lot.
Yeah.
And used one of the turbines. They've actually taken some of the PGE materials and used them already. But they have a fairly good sized warehouse that they might have to replace, put them someplace else to store. And we could get a list. I mean, Kenny sent us that list way back when.
Yeah.
Pictures.
I know, I was thinking about this, yeah.
And most of those things are still available. I don't think they've gone away, but you know, some of them are really, unless we had a really large site like in front of City Hall, we probably couldn't use them. But I think there's some really cool, really long saws and interesting other things we'd have to dull off.
It was like all the wheels and stuff,
Oh,
like,
there's all
like,
these
those are
wheels
called
and-
sprockets, I don't know if that's, but there's
Yeah.
just so many of them. And that chain is like, so cool.
That chain is just really cool. I mean, there's,
Yeah.
And what's the product, the project for the, in front of the historical city hall would be, to a call to art, and it would be bringing an artist who can go into the warehouse, find pieces, reconstruct and make something as a piece of art, kind of like what Travis did, for like what he created for us.
yeah, exactly. And I think when you're talking about sustainability, I mean, once again, it is
That's
the
not
use of materials that would otherwise be sold for scrap.
Yeah.
And
You know, and it's historic and it's our history
Yeah,
that's
that's what
right
I'm
there.
saying, like, we're thinking sustainability in, but it's, to be very artistic, and then for the salon around the corridor, they could possibly take something, maybe add in some culture piece to that as well. But then just thinking like for that warehouse, how much access we have and what we could do, so it's just like.
Well, I think Kenny will take any group of us.
I would love to see it, I never.
I mean, I haven't been on a tour for a while. 'Cause-
I did when I first started,
I know you did, and that was exciting.
Yeah.
All the stuff, and I did it when we were saying, okay, we want that, and that, because we did multiple tours.
In the Hudson Valley, there's an iron forge that made a chain that crossed the Hudson River to block the British fleet during the Revolutionary War, going up the river. And that's an exhibit, the chain that was forged at that particular ironworks.
And, you know, I think if we, you know, Megan can work with Kenny to get a small group on a tour and take sort of more recent photos in terms of what's there.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a matter of saying, okay, this is the kind of space we have. And what
Yes.
things would fit in that space, like I
Yeah.
said, the big grinder, they'll still think it'd be fun to have in the city hall, isn't gonna fit along that 3 foot space, but it,
Yeah.
but other pieces, will, and there's really
Yeah.
a lot of cool things that would fit in that space.
I'm just asking because it was thought of like, again, we're repurposing something very cool. And
Yeah.
then there is a playground in California, in Northern California, that is all made, this is like repurposed, they took stuff and the kids literally go in and redo it also. But it's like a crazy playground, I just take my kids, I don't live there. But my wheels are spinning, like as far as like, if there are pieces that's going to take, and make it a safe, neat thing that we do, like for part of the playground. If we had another playground that we were going to do for the city or something, that we had a cool aspect is to, you know, safe first, but I mean, just thinking like something cool to take with you, that's what they did, they took all the stuff that was scraps and woods, and they made this huge, like, almost like a maze playground for it, it's just.
Can you send me the name of it, so I know, because that's,
So, yeah, I'll find it, it's like, you know. Yeah, I'll
I think, I know, I was like, I think we talked about it before, because you had sent it, and I was like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
In Birmingham, with the steel plant there, they took a lot of the different really cool pieces and did a sculpture garden.
No, that's,
And the kids can climb all over it. I mean,
Yes,
You know, essentially when you said playground, but this, you know, they don't mind if there's set up so kids can climb all over it. It's a whole sculpture garden, which is really nice. And we've even talked about doing that, you know, some way along the Willamette Trail, you know, some of those pieces along there that would be safe to have along the trail. Kids will be safe to climb on, as safe as they are. Quite.
Which would not call them for kids. We would not say.
Yeah.
Yeah, please
Sorry,
come.
kids.
But I'm always thinking in terms of, if you place it, we want to make sure that.
We have a liability.
Yes.
Very careful of that, yeah.
But I think there's some really cool pieces that could be used in that kind of, you know, sort of interpretive sculpture trail with. So I know the historical groups are sort of interested in having interpretive plaques along that way too, so that, you know, it could be a joint project between all the groups again.
I think that'd be fun.
There's all sorts of fun ideas out there.
Love it. I think, are there any more board comments? I know we've gone through all these fun ideas. We've got a lot to carry through. This will be exciting. Are there any other things you'd like to bring up or comment on for our wonderful commission? If not, any new business?
I think I just want to ask if you guys were gonna set your dates soon for your activities for the year, like in the next month or so or 2 months, so that we can start working on scheduling rooms and.
I think we always do the art gallery first weekend of October. Right. We just
So
decide.
you guys gotta come up with a list, like the name and then,
Yes,
yes,
yes.
that would be super sweet. I think that'd
And
be
we
awesome.
do, we have an Excel spreadsheet. I'll update for the next year. Yeah, absolutely.
We're already planning on starting on summer, so just so
Yeah.
you know, Parks and Rec gallery.
So get those dates reserved.
Yeah, just so that we have it ahead.
Yes,
of time.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And that also does on our budget too.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, if we need to adjust those things or take a look at them, revise them, make sure we get the snow globes, you know, type of thing.
Yeah, and decide if we
Yeah.
want to sponsor.
Mhm.
Yes. And I think we mentioned, we have the possibility, I believe, to write grants too, if that comes out, correct? Yeah. So if we need to, that can be something we make notes on and be active about that.
To
Right,
apply for
maybe.
Apply for grants.
Apply for grants, yeah. So if we want to look for, you know, some of our art materials and
Programming
programming.
sets our percent of the arts budget covers
Yes.
arts installations, so the
Yes.
program costs.
The programming, yeah.
You have to apply for a grant.
Mhm.
So why don't we bring those dates to the meeting next month?
Perfect.
That's a good idea.
And, get those squared away?
No, Kristen, you know, I saw that the library has done their call for
Mhm.
for this space.
Yeah.
Its deadline in March, end of February, something.
It's on the front.
Anyway, I just didn't know, I know a few of us have participated in going through the art processing. The whole library would like another representative to do that this year.
They've always, welcomed people from the Art and Culture Commission.
It's a fun gig.
If
I
there's
didn't know.
if one of you or more than one of you wants to do it, I would reach out to Cheryl and let her know.
Does everybody know of the program that, so that's why everybody knows that art here, that it also goes to City Hall. Everybody know all that, right? No, so yeah, so when we were even talking about doing the art program we do, that you guys do, there's already one existing going through every month.
And it's the same artist, so they took over
Well,
here.
why don't you, do you want to explain?
No, you can, oh, I did Megan was the one that just recently, went up to City Hall.
Oh, okay.
And Cheryl said that not all of the artists choose to do that, but go ahead.
Oh, just that I didn't know, like, when I knew we were having our art show,
Mhm.
it was like, well, we already have an art show going like all the time, so it's not that it needs, but I was just like, I was trying to understand when I got started, who did what, and I didn't know if you guys did this, but this is what the library does. And then Cheryl coordinates all of that, and then art also goes up to City Hall and council chambers,
Okay.
so just, it's another.
Well, it was fun. I got to meet one of the artists one time after a chambers meeting. She was coming to take him down. I was like, oh, this is how that works. And I didn't know all the ins and outs. So that's all coordinated through the library?
Yeah, for sure.
Brilliant. Oh, that's great. Okay,
So
so
that
we
might-
reach out to Cheryl if we want to be a part of
If
it.
anybody's interested in, what it looks like, it's on the front page of our library page,
Okay, perfect.
the website right now. And it's called for artists.
I was on the selection committee last year. It was really fun.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Nice.
I mean, look at these photographs. It's
Yeah. I know we're all like, just take a. That's great. Anything else that we can think of? So we'll update the spreadsheet with dates. Talk about grants and then reach out to Cheryl for the call for artists.
I think somebody had posed a question in one of the emails.
Yes.
Facebook and.
Oh, yes, that was, us.
Okay, we might want to talk about that since we have the time. I think Megan
Yes.
probably knows. Maybe. Maybe give me some heads up of what you're asking. Well, it's my understanding that you're wanting to get more visibility out.
I think it was one of the challenges.
It's part of the challenge.
It's one of the-
So in our 2025.
Yeah.
Or as much.
I can read it really quick if you'd like.
Yeah,
Is that helpful?
I'm so sorry.
No, not at all. In 2025, we faced challenges engaging the community through our webpage as it did not consistently reflect current ACC events and opportunities. We would welcome the opportunity to partner with the city to help update website content, support social media outreach, and share art opportunities and local events, better showcasing the art and culture in Westland and strengthening connections with local artists. So we didn't know what
So what is can you just
the app,
point blank what the ask is?
if there would be a way we could help support designing posts for Facebook to be shared via the city, or is there a way for us to have a standalone webpage under the city, or can we update that?
Facebook.
Or standalone Facebook page?
I will ask those questions. I don't think the answer is yes on Facebook, like even not everybody has a Facebook page for that reason. There's no reason why we can't, so I will ask.
Oh, no, absolutely, that's all.
My first head is like. And so website and Facebook.
If we did, we talked about, if we did,
Yeah.
we were able to build our own website, even just a web
A page,
page.
yeah.
We could make it more interactive.
Yeah.
The one
Yes.
page on the city's website that we're using right now is just pretty limited. So if we were able to build a separate website, we would just link it from the city website.
Yeah, always,
We
yeah.
have a basic, Arts and Culture Commission page on the city website,
Yeah.
but link to this
Yes,
external.
Yeah, when it says
site,
events
Which we
or.
could do a lot.
Yeah.
promoting of-
We promote the, you know how we have the bookmarks that show the gallery walk? We can start promoting different things like that, or hey, here's a call for artists, or here's upcoming things that you all are doing, ways to really celebrate and connect. Or even Open Door, wait, is it Open Studio?
Open studio.
Thank you, sorry. Like, we've got all these local things going, so we were like, how can we connect and get a connection going? And especially if we do the Willamette corridor.
Yes.
Hartford, I think there'll be a really good opportunity, if that's possible, but no,
Yeah.
I know we gotta figure out
Well,
policy. and all
we
that
can
stuff.
do all of that now. I think the part that I really want to strongly encourage you is to not to look like you're separate from the city.
Right.
Correct, absolutely.
That for sometimes, a lot of struggles with that, right? And people don't
Yeah.
know that that is actually the city, not a
Yes.
separate art organization.
Yes.
Right.
And so we can do any of that now. If there is ever, because you're part of the board, and that's why it's nice with most of the events are tied to either the library or Parks and Rec.
Mhm.
We can put those on, we can actually put that on the city website. We can do it on social media. We just have to have the information. Say, hey, this is coming up. Here's our flyer. Would we be able to share this with the
Okay.
community? It could go in the newsletter, it could go in the owl.
Okay,
We can do those things. We just have to have it fed to us.
okay.
And maybe we even create some sort of a process where it's a form
Yes.
or it's an online form, like we do with Practice Finding Health Alliance, you've got an events page and,
Yeah.
fields that you fill out and you submit, and then boom, it comes up on your website or your newsletter the next week, so
Yeah.
we could even kind of help create a process.
I think that would be great, and I'll find out, I don't know what limitations, so for example, I'm gonna throw this out there, like, when we get youth organizations who are different, right? They're not, we always have to be careful, will we say yes to this one youth organization?
Right.
You guys are different, because you're your extension of council of boards and commissions, so especially from an event standpoint, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll find out if there's any parameters I'm missing on that, but that's the easy one now, and then I'll definitely ask on the website link, you just have to think of everything, there's public record, there's things that you have to consider when you start handing that stuff out,
Right.
and how it's being tracked back to the city.
Yes.
So that's the stuff I don't know, but I will find out, but I think we can do a better job immediately with outreach, at least with what we currently have as an easy start, and then work on, I'll get answers to these, but I don't.
Yeah.
Well, and some of the, I don't know if we can archive, anyway, too many things I want to think about. We have had some challenges submitting things and then having them be where we would like them to be. And I know Cheryl was doing like our updates and stuff. There was a lot of just rules about what she could access and what she couldn't.
100%.
Which I get.
So that was one thing. And then, oh, if we can like archive our old call for art pages, or like, I don't know if there's a way to like.
We might have to
put old
screenshot.
stuff away too, because I know people find the old ones and that's. 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's there?
Like it's not. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's nobody's in charge of the page.
Things
Like,
like,
not even Cheryl was in charge of the
Yeah.
page, right? So
Yeah.
that's a loop or a thing that we can. fix too.
yeah.
That's, I'll take a look at the page, I didn't know it existed. Except for just the regular, Arts and Culture Commission page.
Thank
Thank you,
Kristen.
Kristen.
Thank you, Kristen,
Yes.
for bringing that up.
Yes, I
Thank
remember
you.
that we finally.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's been 2 months since we met, and it's like, okay, what did?
No.
What was that again?
I was gonna just make a suggestion for, and again, this with the website or promotion, wait till, because, I mean, if we did the bookmarks that we came up with for scavenger hunt to scan, and I mean, so I found it not to be very, people just go, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
But maybe we could do, I don't know how we would do it once a month or whatever, you highlight or feature one of the pieces of art.
Yeah.
And three people and say this could be found, there's a lot in this library. When I did my self-scavenger, make sure it actually worked, but we could do like, highlight once a month, like this piece of art, blah, 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 and they just give a little snippet about the artist. This one be a very long time and that people know they exist. But
Yes.
that could intrigue people in families or even the schools to be interested, like, oh my gosh, we're studying about the luminary art, which is the ones hanging from the ceiling in the library. It's just a way I think we could
Yeah.
do an easy promotion once a month, like, brought to you by the Arts and Culture Commission. And maybe talk a little bit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, what I was thinking while you were talking is,
Yeah.
the city provides a newsletter to the
Yeah.
to the city, to the community every month.
We could just do that. We could just do like a highlighted, art highlight this month, and it's been here forever. But it could be in the industry and the artist. It might be a fun thing to do just in the newsletter, just to help, and that goes in ties with the bookmark and saying, oh, you can pick up one if you want.
And then somebody just needs to do it though.
Yeah.
It's so, it'd be,
To do that.
well, you can just go down the list. I mean, you can go on the, it's easy to go on.
But something like we need something. Exactly. 1 or 6 months.
Yes, so somebody's.
We could even set up an Excel spreadsheet.
Keep that on as
Photo for ourselves for each month.
Idea of the process for submitting.
Yeah.
Because what I think.
Yeah.
I've come across too is we have lots of great ideas,
Mhm.
but there needs to be some sort of process where we present, because we can't put it into the website for you. We can't do all of that, so we just present it and sign off and then.
They take
Yeah.
us to have
Based on-
nonsense.
Yeah. based on the
I will
ship.
send it every month. I will be
Yeah.
going to send a thing. So what
Yeah,
we need to
somebody-
be careful of is, we're the liaisons, but we're not supposed to, so we need somebody to take that on, take that ownership.
One of us signs,
So we're not
needs to
close to
say, I
saying,
need to, yeah, that's fine, yeah, do it, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to do it. I have a very heavy job with 7 states. So I'm doing it to someone to help me do it by taking on to do it through newsletter.
Or maybe it's a two-person job.
It could be a 2-person thing.
Or it could be a one, it could be a one and done. You could say, tonight, look at your pictures and say February, March, April, May, June. Send it either to me or to Megan. We make sure that HR has it when they do their newsletter. And
It's more like than typing out each
Yeah.
one separate artist. Yes.
I mean, if you're gonna make like a little post, you probably wanna do like a little.
Yeah,
post,
yes.
blurb and all that kind of.
And we can
stuff.
ask what size, but yeah, we can.
Yeah, okay, so
yeah,
change this,
yeah.
help me, because I don't want to do it by myself.
so just throwing this out there because I care about you. Why don't you guys, just a suggestion,
Uh-huh,
put your activity schedule together,
yes,
Yes.
right?
yes.
Remember hearing you were burnt out, what you guys were trying to get accomplished,
Yeah.
right?
We're a zealous group.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
it. And trying to keep in mind, this is just again suggestion, the first call of action was trying to procure art, right? And then all the other fabulous things you're doing, but don't bring yourself out and leave us,
Yeah.
right? So, and the thing is, I'd love what Kristen said, that's what I thought, if you did your calendar, which you already have, you could see maybe if there's an area that month that we're not doing something for art and you wanted to have every month covered, maybe that's where you throw in an article.
The idea is to procure art, it's the first option. Then we would probably need to get started on that soon. Are we procuring art for the art corridor, or are we procuring art for something else? I'm a little unclear on that part of our process yet. Like
Well, next month, I'm hoping to come to this meeting with one or two recommendations on locations, and that's after we meet in 2 weeks. And then, at that point, for the art corridor, we could start, initiate the call for art and start that process.
Yeah.
But we could also identify.
I think that's where, I mean, we have that intent, which is what you're doing. I think that was one thing I heard is we could get so far in the programming part that we all love, we still need to make sure we're still moving headway on this. It doesn't mean we have to have an art piece every year, there's no metrics of success on it. We're making sure we're moving forward with that initiative.
Yeah.
And then, I think that was a very good question.
So I'm very excited about that, so I was hoping that that's for,
Yes.
like.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's tandem to just to look at the spot for the historic city hall or the pieces from PG&E. We have to use those this year. So,
Seems like the first easy.
yeah,
one.
it was the
Yeah.
first thing. Yeah, like Knowling, and then the corridor, of course, but I think that's those two are gonna kind of go like this parallel with each other probably, don't you think? Those will be kind of our two main.
Yeah.
Yeah, those main objectives. in
Yeah.
2026. Okay.
So we'll have to be very clear when we get a call for art,
Yeah.
letting, if we have the two
Right.
coming together, we need to be very, clear.
And I think it would be okay to probably either one of you two to be able to set up a meeting with the coalition, just to say, hi, this is what we're doing, thinking, and then there could be a bigger meeting with the whole group if needed at a meeting which is so we can start touch
Okay.
basing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Is there a process for establishing a budget so that, say there was $20,000 for each of two?
I don't know how you did it last time, I have no idea. Well, the way we did it last time was we worked with Jody and her group. And they gave us a dollar figure of what the actual structure was gonna be. And then we looked at, okay, so if the structure is gonna be whatever it was.
15,000, yeah.
We don't want the art to be that or double or triple.
Mhm.
So I think our budget is gonna be different for every single piece that we decide to do.
So where do we start with that?
Well, I think we have to start where we started with the bike kiosk.
Yeah.
And we have decided to find out how much money we have,
Like,
it's very hard to find out.
It is.
How much money.
it is. I got that. I thought you did it last. Did you?
I have the dollar.
I remember you telling us. I got the dollar amount.
Oh, yay.
So per
No.
year or overall?
Overall,
overall.
right here, it's a dollar.
It's done
dollar
for
amount.
projects.
Yeah.
Right.
And I can't, it's like, in my head right now.
And I think our,
Which is fine.
No, I couldn't get, yes, I was able to get the answer. Now where is the whole, but I was able to get an answer. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You what?
Yeah, you know that to me.
Oh.
it's like that the dollar amounts are also tied to the actual project, so the money that was spent on the.
I was told no.
Oh.
And so I was, no, and that's what I thought was interesting too, because that's where the dollar amounts usually were set, right? So if we built this building new today and we had to, that percentage of the art would have to come back into this area or somewhere in proximity, right? Like it couldn't handle it. That's what, so I was told no, but I'm gonna double check again. And I also printed out, I didn't bring it, I'm sorry, I'm really, but it's been a crazy week in Helter Skelter, and so
You're
my
fine.
brain is not functioning this. But yes, I was able, the other thing I was gonna send out, I sent it out to the new, well, not we are new, but the other one. But it's good to read the actual code. It's written in there.
Yeah.
I can send that, I just, I have to reread that, I printed it in the book, because I have to sometimes go back to this.
It is. I told somebody. So it wasn't us. It is $140,000 that's in there currently.
Okay.
And then if you consider the next big thing coming up is the operations building coming, you know, in the next couple of years. And so that's a piece. Thank you so much for holding my brain too. Yeah, so we have this, those are just like really great questions, because even if we don't have that kind of handbook, we can start working on that together and getting that kind of any feedback from council of how we should divvy the, you know, how that should go. But I was really confused on that, because that's what I thought it would be, and Doug said it was not. That had not been established, so it doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be in the future.
I've been asking for a long time and everybody's always like, that's what right on.
Yeah, Doug told me the same thing that I did, but
Yeah.
I think, so I got the number, because I was trying to figure out where to start coding, and not coding for the projects art projects we were doing, programming, but yeah. So, and so it's really new, and I'm finding there's pieces that haven't been fully thought about, because when I came, I'm like, oh, we're established, and I was like, I see now, okay, now I know how I can help. So Christine, to answer your question, I think that's what, the city council really depends on this group for, is to, you know, come up with a value, so to speak, of what you're trying to create.
Right.
So if it's something, you know, at the ACC, you know, what would be a reasonable?
Right, well, it would seem like researching to figure out what other public art has been, what budgets have been established, but I know that some are rented and some are owned.
Yeah, or
So-
donated, yeah.
Right, and you know, are we establishing a 3-year rental thing agreement where, we're asking artists, I'm sorry?
Right, it depends on the price.
Right, but I mean, as far as like what the corridor is trying to do, are you trying to establish your own, or our own permanent, set of sculptures and other art, or is this kind of like the Lake Oswego thing where you've got roving things? Do we,
Right now, we don't have the means of doing the roving thing, you know, because we don't have a full staff employee to do that. And so, but I believe the code is to purchase and to own.
Yeah.
I don't think we're at that point yet, so from my understanding, but I'm gonna go back and read that all again. But I think it is to purchase and to own.
okay.
Yeah.
What is the projected increase in that budget? Because it's 1% of the capital, funding. 1.5, yeah. So what is the projection for the future of that with projects that are happening? Because that 140,000 seems kind of low compared to what we've had as far as capital improvement projects. And I don't know how many public art pieces we've had, so what are we going to be getting in the future?
Do you notice I'm writing this down as a question?
Yes.
Because I do not have an answer.
Thank you. That would.
No, that's a really good question.
I
Because then we
can't
can
tell
plan.
you, I don't know that they were holding, I don't know when they started, I don't. So when I started, we wrote the policy, basically, so that was whatever, 6 to 9 years ago. And they were not holding money as kind of before then, and really it started with the big, what was that?
The bond project.
The bond, yeah, bond project.
Which did do a lot of
Yeah,
good will
yeah.
not falls dry.
And so, and one of the things is that it does not come from road work at all. It is only for capital improvements. So there's a lot of road work done in the bond and then the arts council doesn't get any of that money. But so that is also partially why I agree, it feels a little small, but it is only been built in the last.
So it's the remodel of the historic city hall and,
And the roof they put on here.
and the repair and Robin Hood Center. And not all the work at City Hall, because some of that was done by grants and fundraising. So it was the part that the city did. And same thing with what happened on Falls Drive, it was not a street, it was just the pieces of it. And when they built this police station, they actually used the money to do that cool thing in their lobby. They spent within the building,
Yeah.
and so that money didn't go into the pot, it got spent
Yeah, so it's hard to know how much it'll grow just based on what the.
I have a question though, just looking at the capital projects that are coming. Like right now, ours is relatively low because I was starting with old data, so I didn't want to just put fluffy projects in there. I wanted to have real things. So the next few years or next 6 months, we'll be establishing that CIP project, capital improvement project list with deferred maintenance as well as new for our system development charges that come out of that too. So anyways, that's right, but with Eric, I'm really close, I work really closely with the Public Works and Engineering Director. I can see and find out how that would work. So I think it's a really good question.
Because that would drive what we would do, like our future plans, what we're going to have in the future. We would basically want to spend money on first. You're not going to have it money later, you know?
No, I think one thing, well, and so just, this is kind of geeky side. I know we're getting past time, but, the capital improvement plan is approved for a 5-year extent. We just approved it. And so I can actually just go even in and look at what is projected and have that just to go. That doesn't mean those projects are gonna occur, but it's what's been approved by council, approved to be on the docket for the next 5 years. And that is something that I can do. That would be a way of just having an idea. That doesn't, like I said, those projects may not all occur. But, and like you said, if you ever look at the Parks one this year, this time it's really shallow with the amount of work we're doing because we had completed a whole bunch and you find out really what truly needs, so I'll be doing the update in the next year. With that, for at least for Public Works to give us an idea. And then the question is finding out, making sure what's eligible and to. Very good questions, everybody.
Well, wouldn't it be a matter of public record what was paid for, or what the budgets were for like the art in our city and?
Oh, I was talking for future projections, so like, oh yeah, for future, but I guess I'm saying when it says street improvement, I have to look to see, I don't know exactly what
No.
percentage of that is what I was saying for future.
Right,
projections.
now, I just mean like, as far as, for right now, we can say like, oh, that cool sculpture where Terwilliger comes in, you know, how much was that?
How much have we spent on art already? Is that what you're asking?
Right, so that we know, okay, we want something with this much impact, so we need to be prepared to spend $60,000.
I was just talking about costs of past projects, other places, like what other communities have spent on
Yeah.
similar works. that we-
Including us,
Yeah.
you know.
And it'd be smart probably to look in the last 2 to 3 years, especially with cost increases.
Right.
That 1.5% implies that we offset it as well.
I understand that it does, yeah, I believe that it does. But there's, that's the thing, I have to find the nuance, is it the full entire project or is it pieces that don't, but that's where I have to rely on finance department to tell me how that. If I want to understand it easier, so I can come and articulately tell you.
Yeah, you need to check because it's interesting, stuff that gets included, some gets included in this cost.
Well, we appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Well, thank you for taking me on the journey with you, but I'm like, I don't know. And I will attempt to, because I know Doug is probably by some of it. I know some of the way our finances were, it wasn't set up to be clear, not intentionally, like, so I think that's where moving forward. If there's things that are difficult, how do we've been doing that with some of our, like, events, it's just one line item for events, I'm doing project coach for each event, so we don't have to manually track our spending, and so there's things like that that I think that might be able to occur, make it easier.
One more thing to
Yes.
address Christine's question too, is we've got this great resource in Clackamas County Arts Alliance, and I attend the meetings every month, she comes sometimes too, but with all the cities in Clackamas County,
In the room as well.
that we spent a lot of money on art, so we could, you know, if we, we can gauge pricing from, Lake Oswego or Happy Valley or whatever, we've got a great resource and a network there too, so.
That is, I like it.
And we're happy to help.
And you had just mentioned we were having our little, usually it's the city or the county who sets what the budget is based on what the budget is. you
Yeah,
know?
that's what I've seen is in other comparable commissions, I've seen that the city has a budget that they've determined. I don't know if that's through council or through what, channel. But I haven't typically seen like an arts commission set the budget. Normally it's part of the selection process and thinking of design criteria.
So maybe when we're at our employment corridor, we can check with the other agencies we're talking with right now.
I know.
to see-
That's some great resources.
Yeah.
Wonderful, have them weigh in. when we get to a point where we've got, we've got a location determined, we can see the space, and then kind of start the conversation. So.
Perfect. Well, I think that's a perfect wrap, my friends. So I know, I think we can call it and adjourn our meeting for today, but we'd like to say, and thank you for the update. Looks like our next meeting is gonna be February 4th, right here at 5 p.m. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, like 1 minute, 6:09.